everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, welcome back if you're returning. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I'm starting off with these tips here by Crafts by 9, code Jen. You guys, I love these tips. I cut like an inch off of these and they're still this long and still coffin. Love them. And they just fit well. They're just good tips. So for today's set, I'm going to be using Nina's Clear and All Glow colors. Any color by Not Polish that starts with a G, like you see these starting with, means it is a glow color. I'm going to be using my Profiles Backstage Small 6 brush, and I'm using my Chiara Sky 8 when I get into the capping. So normally, you guys, I keep my application. First I'm going to go in with the clear layer. I do have the pop-off method on, so my tips were, like I didn't have to do this because it's a pop-off set, but my tips weren't blended all the way on the corners, so I decided to go in with this just for a smoother application. And also, you guys, I usually keep my application either in real time or time and a half, but I did put it in double time this time because each bead took, each bead was 3 beads essentially. So it was a lot of clipping, and like for, as far as editing, like see here's 1, 2, 3 beads for each bead I'm manipulating on the nail. And it was just taking way too long, and it was very repetitive. So I don't usually keep it in double speed, but I did for this video. So what I'm doing is, as you see, this is how I like to marble. I don't like to pick up the beads all on one, dip it 3 times into the color and then put it on the nail as one and then thread my brush through. For whatever reason, that makes it smeared and muddy. I'm just not good at marbling that way, so I will do it like this. I get much wetter beads than I'm usually used to working with, but I wouldn't say what other people might consider wet beads, because you can see they still stay in place until I move them around, and they're not running, but they're not stiff either. So I guess a medium consistency is what I use, but it helps me mold it out. And what I like to do is just like that, like I just did to that yellow, I'll just have my brush a little bit damp, and I will do this. I will pat on whatever color that I want to kind of bleed or fan out and make it wetter by doing that. I hope that makes sense. You can see what I'm doing here. I will jump back on if I have anything I want to tell you, because the rest of this application is just the same for all the nails. Oh, I will say that the next time I do an ombre on anything, a marble, a solid, I'm going to stop my application lower than this, because when I ombre over this, I've brought this color up too high, and I always do this, always. So now when I ombre the nude down over that, to file the nails to keep them the shape I want them to be, I end up filing off the nude, and then I'm down to that color again. So I hope that makes sense, but I'm going to be keeping my color, whatever bottom color I have, much lower than that. Also, you can see if I put the red bead down first, the orange bead second, and the yellow last, and that is so I can do this. I bring, just by touching the sides and like pushing it over, you can see, like especially on the left side there, how you can see the lines, the red, orange, and the yellow kind of stays in the center. And I would not say that this specifically looks like flames or fire. It's just a marble, because I have tried multiple times to do a set like this where the beads look like fire, and you really need to go up and down, not sideways, to do that. And I just, for whatever reason, can't do that. So I've tried, and that just makes a mess. I'm just looking at this dry to see if I'm liking it, and then I'm just going on to the rest. Okay, so I'm not going to do the ring finger, a marble. I'm going to do that nude, and that finger was, I was recording just like I am here, and for whatever reason my camera was not focused on my middle finger, my ring finger, the whole time I was doing the application, even though I changed nothing. It was focusing on my brush or my right hand or something, I don't know. So I will show you when we get there, but I did leave it in even though it was blurry so you could see what I was doing, because you can still see what I'm doing. It's just not clear. I don't know why, but I'm sorry for that in advance. And the pinky, you can see here how on all these 3 nails that I'm getting pretty much the same design or similar. There's a bright bit of yellow threaded through these other colors. And for whatever reason, when I got to the pinky, I lost the plot. So it was just not working out, and I kept having to add more yellow, etc. So before this bead right here, that's where I will be stopping my ombres next time. I've been bringing them up too high. Because think about it, you put like this, where this acrylic is at on the side walls here. When I file, I want to make that straight and flush with the sidewall. Well, now I'm going to add another acrylic color over it to ombre. So to file that, and still want my nail to be the same width as the tip, I'm going to have to file my ombre off. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah. So right here, I do start with the right, maybe not right, but like the same look where there's a bright patch of yellow around in the middle of the orange and red. And then for whatever reason, I just keep blending the yellow too much. But I left it in because if you are doing a marble like this, it's a good way to see how you can add more color, you know, in little spots. And it doesn't ruin anything because it's a marble, you know, it's going to look, it's supposed to be random. But you'll see me as we go here, add more yellow, add more yellow. Also, these nails, of course, have to be capped because I have an ombre, I have a marble, but I will show you in a little while how thin or thick the nails are. So even though it does look like I'm maybe piling it on, it still doesn't have that much acrylic on it. It still needs to be capped. So the little bits of yellow I was adding didn't make it like too thick. Like, don't worry about that either if that's what you're trying to do, because see how small and wet these beads are? I was going for yellow, so I don't know why I put all those colors on. I'll let you guys watch. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the nude nail, and this is that color Obsessed. Now, even though all of these colors glow, the Obsessed, this nude, it's called Obsessed, that's why I'm saying that, has such, probably one of the strongest glows they sell. So, in the last bits of the set where I show you them glowing, you can't even tell the other colors are glowing, even though that Glow Me the Money, the yellow one, has a very, very, very vivid glow. The Obsessed kind of overtook it. So you can see what I'm talking about here. For whatever reason, even though, like I said, I have changed nothing, my camera is not focused on this. But I left it in because I am doing a shape and I am doing a cutout or a color block. So I just wanted to, because you can still see what I'm doing. You can also see the nails from the side here, the thickness of them with the ones with the color on it. So even though this is a color block, or a cutout, whatever you want to call it, the nail still has to have its shape. And I didn't want the shape to come from clear. I wanted the shape to come from the nude. So after this dries, because right now I'm concentrating on the cutout, like the shape I want the color block to be. So after, a little later, I add more acrylic to this to give it more shape. Goodness, Jennifer. So what's going on around here? Okay, I don't have any news. Our fence is finished. Our patio is finished. They came and spread some gravel, so our driveway is not a bunch of muddy holes anymore, which is fabulous. They have to come back in a couple of months and flatten it again because, you know, it's thick, so you kind of fishtail around in your car a little bit as you're leaving, and it has to settle. So they're going to come grade it again in a couple of months. But for now, construction's done around here. We're going to get, we did get some stuff put up in our storage, the attic crawl space that I was talking about. We got some stuff out of the garage and put up in there. And we got the awesome crew that was here doing the fence and enclosed patio. I call it a patio because I'm from Arizona. It's a screened-in porch, I think is what it's called around here. We got them to go up into the attic and put down some boards so it's safe to walk around up there, clean it up a little bit, and just make it so we can store things. So we put some stuff up there in storage. The next thing we need to do is get two things. A shed for Vanessa's stuff, and either she's going to just get a shed, an outdoor shed, to store things, or she's going to get a shed big enough to make it a shop. The garage that we have here, I think I mentioned it used to be an enclosed room, and they knocked down a wall and made it a garage. So it's bigger than like a regular garage. It's actually like a 3-car garage. So we can technically park both of our cars in here and make the other part of the garage into a workshop for her. So she hasn't decided yet if she's going to use part of the garage as a workshop and just get a storage for storage, or get a storage that can be a workshop and use the rest of the garage area for storage. But that's the next thing. And then we have bigger stuff that we want to do, like take our tub out and make it a walk-in shower. We need to get the fireplace working. It doesn't work. And that's one of the reasons we bought the house. It's just ridiculous. We had our inspection. He said it worked. And I got a hold of him and we realized it didn't. And there was just... oh, dang, it doesn't work, I mean, no, that's it. So I talked to the realtor, like, what recourse do we have? I mean, we would have asked the sellers to fix that before we moved in. We wanted a working fireplace. And when an inspector comes, they are here to determine that everything is in working order. And yeah, so it's not. So we think we're going to get a gas insert. I don't know. But one thing that's kind of cool is a couple weeks from now, there is a rally, I think it might be called, for democracy at the state capitol in Little Rock. That's about an hour and a half drive from here. We just went last weekend to go to Costco. We got to drive to Little Rock for Costco, Target, a car dealership, a bank, anything like that. Well, I mean like a bank like Chase or Bank of America, like a real bank. And when I say a real bank, I mean like a nationwide chain. There's banks here, but I've never heard of them. Like Community Trust or I don't even know. Anyway, so we decided to spoil ourselves a little bit because we absolutely never do this. We found a bed and breakfast. It is just so beautiful. And it's an old restored Victorian, like you see in the South, and with just really, really gorgeous bedding, and just like the beds are beautiful. I wish I could clip it in here. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And, jacuzzi tubs and things like that. So we're going to spoil ourselves and take a 3-day weekend. We already booked it. We're going to go up there and we're going to go to that little rally at the Capitol. I've never done anything like that before. So that'll be interesting. I mean, to my knowledge, it's not like gay rights or, anything to do with anything like any hot button, abortion or any, what are those called? Protests. It's not like a protest or anything like hot button topics or anything that should get wild or violent or anything. I mean, if so, we would just absolutely leave because I'm not... well, I don't know. I don't know what will happen, but we're not going to be, we're not looking for it to be a dramatic situation, if that says it better. So I'm just going to go check that out and see what it's about. And, if it's to our taste, we'll stay and hang around and see what's up. If not, we'll leave. But yeah, it kind of gives us an excuse to just go have a little staycation, a little bit of a getaway, and looking forward to that. I did have my CT scan yesterday for the hernia surgery, so I'm waiting to hear back from the doctor. They said he should get the results today, so I'm just waiting to hear back from him as to what we do next. So that's what's going on around here, and as you can see, I am ombreing the nude down. I'll let you guys watch, and I'll be right back. And I've told you guys this before, but whenever I'm doing a set, especially when I'm doing ombres, I will let them dry and go on to the next nail and then go back to it, because I just feel like you can tell better once it's dry how it's going to look. That's just always helped me. So if you don't do that, give that a try, because I just think it really helps. All right, so I'm going to get into filling in my color block. So I'm just going to be placing those same colors that I marbled with inside the empty space here. I'm going to make sure I keep it off of the nude, clean it up as I go along. I did not file this. I capped this and then filed it because I kept the colors off of the nude. You can do this where you can kind of be a little bit messy and kind of get it on the nude, like right there. If I left that, I could have just filed it off. But I prefer to, if I can, just be neat about it, so, less work. But that's what I'm doing here, is just filling that in with the marble, and then I'm going to get into capping. All right, so after this, I am, like I mentioned, getting into capping. This is how they're looking application only. The nude nail is thicker because I'm only going to cap my marble. The rest I need to completely build my shape with clear, so I will be putting on quite a bit. I'm using Nina's Clear, my Kiara Sky 8 brush, and Kiara Sky monomer. And I'll let you guys watch. This is sped up, I think, 1.5 or double times as well. You guys, the giveaway. So I still owe one of my subscribers a box that I still am just lagging putting together. I don't know what's taking me so long. I'm just having a hard time getting in my nail room. I went through this phase where I did set after set after set, and now I just don't even want to be in there. I don't know why. It's just, I still need to do my glitters. I had every single one of them pulled out. I had them all over the floor and organized. Foils here, you know, seasonal glitters here, etc. And my puppy just wouldn't stop picking them up and crunching them between his jaws and ruining them and running off with them. And if I shut the door to keep him out, then he scratches on the door and whines, and then he's going to ruin the door. So it was just this, turned into this whole thing. And I finally ended up one day just picking them all up because I was annoyed with it. So I have to start that and do that all over again before I can get you guys a nail room tour video. And that's the last thing I have to do to finish setting up my nail room. And I just need the motivation to do it. I don't know why I've not been motivated to get in there. But, so that video will be coming your way at some point. I do have 2 boxes to unbox for y'all. I mentioned in my last video about Profiles Backstage. That box came yesterday, and so did my Not Polish order. I also ordered from Blue Streak. So I think I will wait for the Blue Streak to get here and then unbox all 3 for you guys. So I'm not sure if I'll end up doing a nail set in between those unboxings. Probably not. I need to unbox that stuff. So that's probably coming to you guys next. And for the giveaway, I thought about it, and I think I want to do it numbers motivated instead of just random. I think I want to get my subscribers up to a certain count. So I'll be looking at that and letting you guys know in the next couple of videos what subscriber count I want to reach before we do a giveaway. And it's not going to be anything huge. Like if I'm at 1250, I'll make it when we get to 1300. You know, I won't do something huge like wait till I get to 5,000 or something crazy. So it'll be coming your way kind of soon. What else? I think that's it, you guys. I'll let you finish watching the capping. All right, you guys, we're coming to the end of capping. I will let you see how they look before filing. I did file off camera, and I have bought over time. Here's how they look in application only, done. I got a new little toy here. So I love Kiara Sky brushes, and I have never bought any of their brushes besides, for Kolinsky for application. I have two 3D brushes right now, and they're just, I don't know, they spread out. They don't stay to a point. So I decided to try one of these. I don't use it in this set, but I just wanted to show you that. So I got it that matched. Now, I had filed the nails, and then 1 or 2 days later came back to do the bling. So I'm cleaning really, really good with Swipe, and this is how they're looking after they're filed. And with some golden shadow crystals from Blue Streak and some Zoulay's bling adhesive that I got that comes in a tube now. So I've told you guys before, what I do is I'll just smear some of this on because it is not air dry. It gets cured in the lamp. So I can take my time to arrange my bling without worrying about them drying in place or drying in the wrong place. So I'll just put all the crystals I want on there and then arrange them from there. What I want to tell you guys about was, and the video is coming to an abrupt end, so I will be quick, but you will see as I'm doing this bling, our power shut off. I'm just in the middle and the lights go off. So I told Ness, I'm like, hey, we lost power. And she comes out of her office because she was working. And, what the heck? She's flipping breakers. We're trying to figure out what's going on. The construction had just finished the day before. And we thought, well, did they dig somewhere? So we're coming outside. We're looking. The breakers don't do anything except turn on everything in the kitchen, but everything else in the house, the kitchen and one bedroom, the bedroom where the bed is, not the bedroom that is my nail room or the office. So we had power in our kitchen, but not the refrigerator and not the microwave, but like our range worked and the lights worked, in the ceiling. So we couldn't figure out why some were some, and some was working and some wasn't. She thought it was to do with the GFI, I think that's what it's called. She got out her little tool. No, the lines were hot. So we called the guy that was doing our work, and here it comes. Oh. And then it came right back on. But then it goes off again and stays off. That's when she was doing all the breaker checking. Anyway, the guy that came out and checked it for us told us he thinks that we have ants. And I was like, what? So here's where it went off for good. And I had to finish my nails outside in daylight. So this came back on, but just for a minute, not for good. Anyway, the electric company had to come out. They got into our transformer box, and sure enough, there was an ant's nest. They had made themselves a happy home, and yeah, they had to replace all that. Thankfully, it didn't cost us any money. So off camera, I had top coated these because it had been like 3 days, and I didn't want to walk around with them not protected. So here I'm going in with a second top coat. If they look already top coated to you, they are. Going in with a second top coat just because, like I said, it had been days and I hadn't done like a really good top coat. I just kind of slathered some on to protect them. So I'm going in with Not Polish stain resistant top coat. Not because I need stain resistant, but because it's the texture, the consistency. I love this stuff. And I am showing you guys also here the final look, as well as what I do when I'm done with the set. So I've got lotion, I crisp up the edges with a file. I have cuticle oil from Sugared Eclipse Nail. Thank you, Crystal. Love this stuff. So I put on cuticle oil, I put on lotion, I dust them off, I crisp up the edges, and then I use my my piece of black silk. I also have a white one that I got from AliExpress to cover my table, as well as a little half sleeve sweater type thing. I have a black one and a white one that I put on my nails for posing pictures. So I just show you guys my procedure for that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, I said bye, but I just realized that because I put on lotion and cuticle oil and I slathered it everywhere, I do go in with Swipe one more time to clean off the nails really good, because in pictures, especially with flash or certain angles, they can look really greasy in pictures. So I'm cleaning them off really good with swipe, but only on the nail because I don't want my skin to get that white, dry cast that swipe leaves. And then I'm taking a clean table towel and some alcohol to clean off my crystals. I don't like using swipe on my crystals because they leave that cast, that same cast. And alcohol won't leave your fingers with that cast. So that's what I was doing there. And I already mentioned this is my sleeve, my little silky thing. And that's the end of the set. Now, one more time. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.